What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Lesson-dary Memoirs podcast. Listen, thank you to everybody that has already subscribed and everybody that has been here through this journey with me. I really appreciate it. If you're new here, Lesson-dary Memoirs is nothing but an opportunity for me to look into the past, look into the present, and even take a peek into the future and take a lesson from it and see what needs to happen. Where can I grow? What can I do better? So if you want to take this journey with me, I thank you even in advance for liking and subscribing. And I just want you to take this journey, and I pray that we grow together. And I want you to know that I appreciate you for being here. All right, so let's get into it. If you've been watching the past couple of episodes, we have been doing a reactionary series to the 5 Levels of Leadership by John C. Maxwell. And I'll always say, I'm not digging really deep into the book. I'm just taking the principles that he taught and I'm taking a lesson from it. So on today, we're looking at level 3, which is production. And you guys know I had to bring out the PVAMU to represent, because Prairie View does one thing and we live by this. Prairie View produces productive people. And if you know that and you truly believe that, I want to shout out to each and every one of you, all my fellow Panthers that are out there that are watching this. Hey, shout out to you, because we all know that that's just not a quote, but that is a lifestyle. That's a characteristic that we take with us, even in job interviews or talking to regular people. We know that's something that we always say. Prairie View produces productive people. And this level that we're looking at, it's basically John C. Maxwell is saying people follow you because of what you do for the organization. And this is something that's not just for on-the-job training or just on-the-job daily work, but this is something that we can apply to families. This is something we can apply to relationships with friends. This is something that we can apply to everything that's going on in life. Why? Because people want to look at what it is that you do for them, what it is that you do for the organization, what is it that you do for the members and people that are following you. And we have to really take a deep dive into this and really look at it. Why? Because your production matters. Your production makes the difference in everything that goes on in day-to-day operations. You have to realize that what you did yesterday is going to affect you today. So if you were dragging yesterday and you didn't finish everything that you needed to finish, it's going to catch up to you. Why? Because those things matter. Your production, how you keep the train moving, how you do everything that you want to do, it matters, and it takes a toll on you if you don't do it right. I mean, come on. Have you all ever met a person that every time you talk to them, you like, hey, how you doing there? Well, I'm doing all right, but my back is hurting, and I tried to do the best that I could, but it's just not working today. And eventually you're looking at them and you're just like, man, every time I talk to you, you have this same response. Every time I come and ask you what's going on, you're dragging and you're not telling me that you had a productive day. You're not telling me that you're live and you're awake. You're not telling me that. You're telling me that things are hurting you and that you're dragging. But each and every one of us, we have to really look at this, because the words that we speak can affect the way that we live. Let's rewind that. The words that we speak can affect the way that we live. Why? Because what you're speaking is coming completely out of your heart, and it's coming out of your mind, and it's just flowing through your mouth, and you don't even realize it. Most of the stuff that we say, if we say things out of anger, we're quick to respond. We're quick to say this, or we may be slow to speak, or whatever the case may be. You're speaking what's already in your mind or what's already in your heart, and you have to realize that out of the heart, the mouth speaks, and you have to be careful about what's in your heart, because the things in your heart may not be producing the things that you need to produce. The things that are in your mind may not be producing the things that you need to see in life. So what happens here? We have to change our hearts. Most of us, we need to take an opportunity to get a list of people that we need to forgive, and we need to get that off our hearts. Most of us, we need to take a list of the things that we are consuming day by day through your eye gates and through your ear gates, and we need to get that off our minds. Why? Because it's not productive. It's not causing us to be able to see exactly what we need to see in life. If you're taking in things that have nothing to do with your purpose, have nothing to do with where you're going, have nothing to do with what you need to do in this moment, you got to eradicate that. And I mean completely destroy it. Why? Because it's not helping you produce the fruit that you need. Last week we talked about Galatians 5, the type of fruit that you need. And now we're talking about a different type of fruit. The fruit of production, the operations of your work, the things that you see from the work that you do. This is what you need to be consuming. We need to be reading books about the purpose that's going on in our life. We need to be watching videos. One of the things that I started doing, because I'm a podcast producer now and I help out my friends and all this stuff. So I started consuming people that are already successful with podcasting, how they're setting up their cameras, how they're doing the different angles, everything that I could consume as a resource. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to be consumed with. That's what I want to be overwhelmed with. So when I start to speak, when I start to act, these things will come out and it'll be greater than anything that I can think or imagine. And imagine if it was different. Imagine if I was watching somebody that had a rinky-dink podcast, you know what I'm saying? Like this little dude y'all watching right now, he got this one camera angle. It's a little boring, you know what I'm saying? He can't switch camera angles. He got, this microphone right here, don't never move. You know what I'm saying? You don't see the side of his head. You don't see the back of his head. You don't see none of that. You know what I'm saying? But eventually it get better. Imagine if I was just consuming that and I'm thinking this one-dimensional way. I know you're saying, hey, well, why don't you do it right now? Why didn't you put it into action? I'm standing in this position right now because y'all know it's just me shooting this right now. But there are other things that we can do. There are other things that I can do. If I wanted to, I got the video switcher, I got all this stuff. I can easily turn this thing around and make it better. But just thinking right now, because come on, I'm convicting myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking a little moment. I'm convicting myself because I thought about, I'm saying right now it's just me, so I'm going to just do this one camera angle. I can't do much more. I don't want to be switching, reaching for the video switch and all that stuff. Why not? Why can't I produce more for even myself? I can use this as an example. Why can't I produce more for my content and what I'm doing? Why can't I? And the same thing goes for you. Why can't you do it? Why are you telling yourself that you can't do it? Why are you telling yourself that it's only you fighting the battle? Why are you telling yourself that you can't do more? Why? What's the reason? And I'm thankful for a motivational speaker by the name of Eric Thomas that says, what's your why? What's the reason why you're doing it? If you have a reason why, then why are you telling yourself that you can't do it for your reason why you're doing it? Does that really? Yeah, I think I said that right. Why are you telling yourself that you can't do it and you can't act upon your reason why you're doing it? I'm doing this because I know that there is something that I need to speak and I need to say, and there's more that I need to be productive with. But why am I telling myself that I can't do it? Why am I telling myself that I should be stuck right here? Why am I telling myself that I can't be productive? And I pray that this is striking some type of thought for each and every one of us so that we can truly look and analyze our situation of how we've been producing, how you've been interacting with people, how you have been treating them, what have you been doing for them, and what is it that you really need to do in order to see the success that you need to see? What is it that we need to take on or take off so that we can continuously do the things that needs to be done? There's so much more that we can produce. You can produce infinity. I'm just going off the dome tonight, and I don't even know what that means. But for somebody right now, it just clicked in your brain, and you already know I can produce infinity. This small number that I thought I could produce is not. It's not the end for me. That's not the only level that I got. I may have put myself in this box or in this jar, whatever the case may be. But I'm telling you, you can do so much more if you invest in your production, if you invest in what you're doing. And that means, like I said, consuming more, spending more time with it, growing and learning, investing the proper tools and getting the proper resources so that you can grow. Y'all, I got to get out of here. Because I'm getting excited. As y'all probably can tell, Lesson-dary Memoirs does something for me because it convicts me as well. And I pray that for each and every one of us, as we're doing this and we're going about and looking at our lives, that we find something that you can be blessed by, and you can take it and you can apply, even if it's one little small piece. So once again, shout out to each and every one of y'all that's been supporting, that's been liking and subscribing. Please share this with somebody that needs to see it, and I'll see y'all on the next run.